These movements look like they were animated on a computer. But every single one you're about to see is completely real. No CGI, no editing tricks, just real physics doing impossible-looking things. From delayed motion to movements that seem perfectly programmed, these are real experiments that look fake, but aren't. Let's start with the first one. Imagine you push something and it just waits. It hesitates before it moves. This is the world of delayed motion. It's a fascinating corner of physics where objects seem to defy our expectations of instant cause and effect. Take this setup, for instance. It's a series of interconnected rods and joints. When you give the first one a gentle push, you expect the whole thing to react immediately, right? But watch closely. The push travels through the system, and there's a noticeable lag. The final piece moves a full second after the first one. It's like the motion is buffering. This isn't a glitch. It's a carefully designed experiment showcasing how energy and momentum can be stored and released with a delay. The specific angles, weights, and friction in the joints are all calibrated to create this motion lag. It's a physical demonstration of how complex systems can have delayed responses, a principle we see in everything from engineering to biology. So the next time you see something with a delayed reaction, remember it's not magic, just some very clever physics at play. Now let's talk about vibrations. We usually think of vibrations as just a simple back and forth shake. But what if I told you that vibrations can create illusions that trick your brain into seeing something that isn't really happening? This is a classic vibration illusion experiment. We have a flexible rubber cord attached to a motor that vibrates at a specific frequency. When we turn it on, the cord starts shaking so fast that your eyes can't keep up. Instead of a blurry line, you start to see distinct, stable wave patterns, almost like a sine wave frozen in time. What's even crazier is that by changing the frequency of the vibration, we can change the number of bumps you see in the wave. It feels like we are programming the shape of the cord with the vibration frequency. This phenomenon is called a standing wave. It happens when waves traveling down the cord reflect off the end and interfere with the incoming waves. At specific frequencies, they line up perfectly to create these stable, stationary patterns. It's a powerful reminder that what we see isn't always the full picture. It's our brain's interpretation of the information it receives. The vibration isn't creating a physical shape, but it's creating a motion illusion that our eyes and brain translate into a clear, solid form. Ready for some perfectly timed chaos? Chain reactions are one of the most satisfying things to watch, especially when they unfold with machine-like precision. We're not talking about simple dominoes here. We're talking about complex mechanical chain reactions where every single movement is a crucial part of a larger sequence. Look at this incredible machine. It's a cascade of levers, rolling balls, swinging hammers, and falling weights. The creator has spent hundreds of hours designing and calibrating it so that each action triggers the next one at the exact right moment. A single ball rolling down a ramp hits a lever, which releases a pendulum, which then strikes another object, and so on. The timing has to be perfect. If one piece is off by even a fraction of a second, the entire sequence could fail. This is a beautiful example of cause and effect on a grand scale. It demonstrates principles of potential and kinetic energy, momentum transfer, and gravity. Each step converts one form of energy into another to continue the chain. It's like watching a physical program execute its code line by line. These experiments are a testament to human ingenuity and our fascination with creating order out of a series of seemingly separate events. Have you ever seen something that looks like a snake dancing in midair? That's the magic of a pendulum wave. It's one of the most mesmerizing and beautiful physics demonstrations you'll ever see. What you're looking at is a series of pendulums, all hanging from a single rod. The key is that each pendulum has a slightly different length. The longest one is at one end, and they get progressively shorter towards the other end. When we release them all at the same time from the same angle, something amazing happens. Initially, they swing together in unison. But because their lengths are different, their periods of oscillation, the time it takes to complete one full swing, are also different. The shorter pendulums swing faster than the longer ones. This slight difference in speed causes them to fall out of sync, and then back into sync, creating these incredible, evolving patterns. They form waves, then they split into two groups, then three, then they look completely random and chaotic, and then, like magic, they all line up perfectly again. This cycle repeats over and over. This pendulum wave experiment is a stunning visual representation of how simple, independent harmonic motions can combine to create complex, emergent patterns. It's not an illusion, it's a dance choreographed by the laws of physics. Finally, let's look at objects that seem to have a mind of their own, capable of correcting and stabilizing themselves when knocked off balance. This isn't science fiction, it's the principle of gyroscopic stabilization. A gyroscope is basically a spinning wheel or disc. When it's spinning at a high speed, it has a property called angular momentum, which makes it want to resist any changes to its orientation. You can see it in action with this toy gyroscope. When it's not spinning, it just falls over. But get it spinning really fast, and you can balance it on the tip of your finger, on a string, or at almost any impossible angle. If you try to push it or tilt it, it doesn't just fall over. Instead, it moves in a direction perpendicular to your push, a strange motion called precession. This self-stabilizing motion is what keeps bicycles upright, allows quarterbacks to throw a perfect spiral, and helps stabilize ships and spacecraft. The object isn't thinking or correcting itself consciously. The physics of the spinning mass is creating a powerful stabilizing force that makes it incredibly resilient to external disturbances. It's an object that physically refuses to fall down, all thanks to the power of spin. Which one looked the most fake to you? Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more reality glitches.